Poor Bob. Bob's a bit sad. Normally, Bob the cat is glad. Smiles at everybody with a wide, wide smile. He likes to travel for miles and miles by rail. He doesn't like to be a snail. He likes to travel far and fast. But now, at last, Bob has been told he and his kind may not make so bold. For a bike is only supposed to be a bike. Luggage can only be carried if passengers are not tarried. Anything over 20 seconds stop costs the company £200, unless it's for a disabled person, in which case it can be claimed back from the accountants. Bob and trailer, they're a no-no. Bob and trailer now to go slow. Bob and trailer, it's a no-no, because if I have to take a bike and Bob and then a trailer, I'm a slob. I'm slowing a train down. I'm slowing the passengers down. They'll frown. I'm causing disruption to the service. I'm causing a nuisance. That was the advice given to me by a guy who himself was not offensive. He did not need to be defensive. He was standing up for what was true and just declaring it to you-know-who, stating, this is how it is. The company, that's their biz. They make the rules and they enforce them by penalising guards who don't enforce them. That's the way. The passengers must pay. Anything more than 20 seconds earns a reprimand. That's their command. Poor Bob. No longer can he travel freely. If he was on the trailer, he could not travel at all. Only because he's on the bike is he allowed to travel at all. Poor Bob. He is not small. Is this discrimination against large cats who wish to travel on passenger travel services such as trains, not even planes? I could understand that. But no, a train, there's space aplenty. Space for Bob and maybe 20 of him. That would be exciting to see, but not for ScotRail, it's plain to see. Yeah, Bob and his kind, who entertain children and please the mind, are not welcomed on passenger services, even if they're not overflowing with commuters, because the business is to get the train from A to B and B to C and C to D as fast may be. Never mind if passengers need a bit of time to disembark or embark. That's an offensive remark to ScotRail. They have their timetables to keep to. Passengers must leap to be on the train in time. If you have something that requires you to get on the train and then get off and then get on again, that's refrainable by command. And I apologize for the awkwardness of that last stanza. I am a man whose mind is inclined to find this a troubling kind of situation. I don't like to find it difficult to get on with folk, but where travel is impeded, that's no joke. Apparently there is an allowance made if a disabled person causes a delay. And I have to say, I am myself disabled. I have a form of epilepsy, or maybe a form of narcolepsy or some such, which precludes me from driving. Otherwise I could do so, even though the CO2 would cause me a bit of woe. I prefer to travel by train. I think I've made that plain. Do I need to explain? Save the planet. Save some time. Carry luggage. Have some fun. But on my bike, with my trailer, ScotRail does not like. This is how it seems to me. I've tried to explain it as plain as can be. If we're trying to travel more greenly, then there has to be some, it seems, change in the way that travel is arranged. Travel must allow for bikes. Travel must allow for likes of passengers who wish to bring things that would cause children to dance and sing, things to events of celebration. Isn't that worth anticipation and some change in regulations on the trains? Does it take enormous brains to see that trains exist for you and me? We do not exist to serve the timetables dreamed up by those who push the buttons and count the numbers. Dream of this in nightly slumbers. Dream of a better world where Bob and his kind don't put anyone out of a job, but rather people find that Bob and their kind provide the job. The transport is there to enable people to bring things here, there, and everywhere, without care, without despair. That's only fair. Bob wants to smile into your life. Why should Bob be faced with strife? Why should Bob and luggage like him not be welcomed on the trains of Scotland? Land of freedom and imagination. Land not of stagnation, but a mighty nation. Let us be again a bastion of freedom and liberty. Bob. Yes, Bob. The shortened form of Robert. Robert, a good Scottish name. Or name maybe not originally Scottish, but adopted because of Robert the Bruce, champion of freedom in Scotland. Bob the cat. The bobcat. Yes. Let the cat of Scotland roam at large by rail, by road, by paths. Celebrate with Bob, then we shall be truly free at last.